Hello, Americans. My name is Sven. No, not really. I'm Yahtzee, and this week we're having a special thing.
Yahtzee Crowshaw's deleted scenes.
I threatened to do this a while back, and now I am. We're looking
fun.
over some old AGS projects that I abandoned ages ago. Oldest of these dates back to 2004. Imagine that.
Actual abandoned wares.
Where were you in 2004?
Living in Ashgrove.
Up your mother's pussy, no doubt.
Pretty much, yeah, I think that was 30 up your mother's pussy crescent. It's one of the nicer suburban areas of Ashgrove.
Anyway. Yes, bear in mind a couple of things before we dive in. First of all, Windows 7 hates these. So recording them is going to be a bit of an arse. There might be some graphical glitches. I'm not sure if the recording will pick them up. So Gabriel, try to ignore them. And that goes for you too, audience.
Okay, how do I know if the graphical glitches are a result of an interaction between the games and the windows, or because they're like your leftovers?
Because I will tell you.
Okay.
I remember how they were when they were pristine. The other thing is that all of these products were abandoned years ago. And all of them are going to end very abruptly because they're unfinished. So any statements along the lines of, ooh, you should finish that, are going to be very unhelpful.
Well, guess what's coming anyway?
Yeah, now someone said that, someone's already dove straight to the comment section to post that.
Finish it.
Because you're obviously exactly the kind of cunt I despise the most. Someone with no actual wit, who likes to see themselves as some kind of raconteur.
Not even doing anything, like just... He said I shouldn't finish it. I'll do what he said not to.
Anyway, our first one, and bear with me while I get this in the right position. For some reason this will only record right if I put it on the far right of the screen, slightly overlapping the edge. God knows why. This is a unfinished sequel to The Trials of Odysseus Kent.
It looks like he could be played by Johnny Depp there.
Oh, yeah. Called, as you can see, The Rise and Fall of Odysseus Kent.
Cool, let's see the intro.
Now, if you thought the original Odysseus Kent was wearing its Monkey Island influence on its sleeve, you ain't seen nothing yet. Whoops. I will just stop clicking now.
Yeah, I had this problem, I think, when I was... It was one of these games, like, your timing for the speech bubbles was like a fifth of a second... like, slower than my patience, so I'd go fuck it and click right as it changed.
Well, that's AGS for you.
Is he wearing, like... is he wearing clothes there? Because it looks kind of like he's just wearing a...
Well, as we established in the text, the police found him lying naked in a field somewhere.
Ah, okay.
And this is a very sort of Monkey Island 2-y framing device.
To make it so when you die, you can just go back.
Possibly, although there isn't death in adventure games, or there wouldn't be if it was Monkey Island inspired.
There was that edge of a cliff, and I think 2, but I think that was a deliberate joke against us, Sierra.
Possibly. Hey, did I ever tell you my favourite colour is blue?
No.
That was,
my favourite colour is black.
That was in the Mouth of Madness reference.
Which bit in the Mouth of Madness was that?
You know, when he's on the bus. And he hallucinates Sutter Kane.
Oh, that's right.
And Sutter Kane goes, did I ever tell you my favourite colour is blue? That was my Rutger Hauer voice.
Good old Rutger.
Right, so Odysseus is going to start the story of how he ended up here. Now, first he's going to recap the first game.
You
remember the first game?
Yeah.
Do you remember much about it?
There was a grave and a church at the end. I don't remember the narrative, really. Oh, that's a good little... Look at that. That's got character, that drawing.
Yes. That was the evil priest, who looked like a Lego person in the first game, if you'll recall.
Now he's... It's brimming with character.
If you say so. It looks a bit like how I imagined Thaddeus from Mogworld looking. There's Odysseus stealing the treasure.
Is that him running or kneeling? Because it looks like he's proposing.
He's running.
Oh, okay.
See, his hair's blown in the wind.
I just saw that's what his
Here's
hair
the
looked
first
like.
joke. He said, it took me ages to think of a name for my bar. That's the joke. So he called it Odysseus Kent's Bar. Ha 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 ha.
Oh, it's the rise and fall of Odysseus Kent's bar. A grim journey
No,
into
the
the
S
perils of
turned off.
small business ownership.
The S turned off. It was very clever. The S turned off, so it just said Odysseus Kent, and then it added the rise and fall of as an establishing title. Although you just had to disregard the bar bit.
Mm-hmm.
Interiors.
There's the shovel.
Interiors a bit more from the 5 Days of Stranger school of design. Lots of gradients and small rooms.
This explains why you invested in a bar.
Well, not really.
Secretly always wanted to run a bar and play a piano in the corner.
Well, I guess this was apropos.
It really is. It's all money is all gone.
Because Odysseus Kent's bar didn't get any clientele and he lost all his money. And there's no sound in this game, by the way, in case you were wondering, listener. Because I always saw that as a last job to do when I was making AGS games. So
Why is that?
What should we do, Gabriel?
Panic and throw up. Drink the back bar and run.
Yes, the barman is a secondary character whose major character trait is that he's sarcastic. And this is what I was sort of doing, a sort of spoof noir thing.
It looks like an evolved fleshlight.
She looks...
Like the dress just is this
It's
singular...
it's just a perfectly parallel tube dress. Looks like she's been shrink wrapped.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen goth girls pull that look off, but it always looks uncomfortable.
Yeah, this might tell you certain things about my attitude towards women from around this time as well.
I hope they're better than your attitudes toward your latent homosexuality.
So, here's the setup. This lady wants to tell us about another treasure we can find.
Ooh. Big Dave's obscenely large pile of shiny things?
So this is very Monkey Island 2, isn't it?
It really is,
starts
yeah.
with them going off to find Big Whoop.
Oh.
Yeah, and this is quite a talky intro sequence. Because, as with the first Odysseus Kent, there was a focus on funny dialogue. Funny, in quotes.
Do you think you're going to look back on you now in like 10 years? I mean, because this isn't even long ago. This is
Yeah,
like 10
probably.
years.
10 years when I'm a big-time indie game magnate.
You're going to dye your hair and maybe put some pink in your beard and be interesting?
No, I think I'm past that stage. I can only be the grumpy curmudgeon big brother figure of the industry.
I think you'd look good with like a electric pink streak through your beard.
Her name's Dorothy. And I might as well spoil this. But there's a reason why A, she never mentions her surname, and B, we mentioned the priest from the previous game in the intro.
She's the daughter of the priest?
There you go.
Yeah.
I did work out the whole plot for this, but as tends to happen when I work out the plot from the start, I just sort of lost interest, really.
I know the ending. Fuck this. No.
That's not her real arm. That's just some kind of papier-mâché thing she's got stuck to her shoulder.
Is this kind of like a Once Upon a Time in Mexico situation where she's holding a gun, like somewhere in that tube dress of hers?
I don't know.
It does look like someone microwaved a flashlight and then just a lady parts started springing out of the top and bottom of it.
Yes. She's
but
very
supple
firm.
somehow. Did you ever go through a goth period? Like,
What are you talking about, man? I still wear black.
No. Black in and of itself ain't goth. Odysseus there, that is like fucking turbo.
Well, I wouldn't dress like that.
Okay.
Perhaps I was taking the piss out of goth. So you'll notice these buttons have weird words on them.
Yes.
See, I was sort of taking the piss out of GUIs or something.
GUIs?
Yeah, graphical user interfaces.
Ah, okay.
That use
I'm
words
not
rather
hip
than...
to the lingo.
The old LucasArts styles that use words rather than, icons. When really in GUI design, a visual icon, it tends to be better practice. So it took her a while to answer the door, and things were still active while she was doing it, so presumably the puzzle would have involved that. But I can't remember what.
Wait, so she lived next door?
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Hey, who remembers Monkey Island?
Nobody. This is a completely original construct.
Now, people who've read Mogworld might recognise the name of the town there. Yawnbore was a town in the second act of the book, where our hero Jim discovered that the NPCs were all glitched out. Did you read Mogworld?
Yeah. I read like 5 years ago, though.
Yeah, I keep checking. Make sure you're still okay.
What? I shouldn't.
Aha.
Okay.
Yes, this is an insurance man. And this got dark fast.
I think it's still terribly funny. I love the idea of someone like not full, going through on their part of the suicide pact and just having to sit there and talk to the space.
Yeah, I don't remember much about the game, but I remember I was quite happy with this character. I thought he was a barrel of laughs. Yeah. So, like Monkey Island, but a lot darker and a little more mature in its themes. That's what Odysseus Kent was in a nutshell, really.
Mm.
Can
It'd be really funny if he showed up at 6. Ah, well, look at that.
He
I was
wasn't.
hoping he was going to shoot himself.
He wasn't going to do it.
You great big pansy. Follow through on your suicide claims.
Hey, there's a
Weak.
wedge. That was a
This
hint,
this
by the
general scene is amusing to me. Like, I think this is...
way. Ooh, a Simpsons joke.
Dance, 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 dance.
That was it. That was a completely different scene. You can't even get your references right.
No, it wasn't. This emergency exit is painted on. We desperately need real emergency. Ooh,
Yeah.
I suppose you'd like real lead in the containment suits. And then he pushes the button, the tube lowers down, and it sucks him up into it.
Yeah, the scene where he's talking to the boss is the scene that follows the scene where he notices the emergency exit is painted on, because they're in a different room.
It's part of the same joke.
It's a different scene, was my point. Why did he say "an" if he wasn't sure what the next word would be? What a fool I was.
Did I miss something about why we're at the insurance shop?
Yes.
Okay.
We're here for laughs.
Ah,
For no reason.
good old yucks.
Oh yes, I remember now. We're going to insure our bar and then destroy it. So we
okay.
can have the money to go after this treasure.
That's
Although
using the
most
old
of
noodle.
that hasn't been created.
Oh. How much, like, how long,
Well, we'll find out. I'm not sure, actually.
Oh,
We'll just see when we run out of rooms to go to.
Does the game tell you, okay, this is as much as you've finished, or will
course
you
it
be able
won't.
to walk back and just keep...
Of course it won't tell me. We'll just we'll just try to go to a room and the game will just stop abruptly.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know how these game maker programs...
Well, they don't automatically put in stops when you stop adding stuff.
No, but I mean, if a room isn't there, would you just not be able to go into it at all, but you'd be able to keep wandering around the stuff that is created? Like, I was curious if we were to be trapped here forever, never to know when the end is.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yes, the guy who killed himself was named Bert Cobain.
It's your knack for cultural illusions that I think really sort of makes
Hey,
your writing
this was
pop.
2004.
Yeah, I'm getting ahead of like 10 years from now, Yahtzee.
Oh, here's another dark joke.
That's the best thing. If I rag on you completely now, 10 years from now, you'll have to say that I was right all along.
Stop talking over the dark joke. The implication there was he ate the corpse.
That's a little further into the strange.
Yes.
I think a man who can't kill himself probably wouldn't also be a cannibal.
It was a weird joke. So I seem to remember you can look at this newsstand,
Ooh.
and it has a 5 Days of Stranger reference,
Ah.
which came out in 2003, if you'll recall.
Uh-huh.
Thanks for contributing, by the way. This is why
Well, tell us like
this is
what.
why I keep you around.
Well,
Here's a woman.
these are your deleted scenes. I thought we might get some, let you talk a bit, get some perspective.
I need you to provoke. And
This room sucks. Explain yourself, you shitheel.
what I meant was you could perhaps ask interested questions about the things as they come up.
Well, there wasn't an awful lot to do with that sequence, really, was there? I mean, we had some interesting stuff with the.
You're just saying that because you didn't have the imagination to think of any.
Well, it kind of looked like the opening to Black Books, or the set, the external shot of Black Books. That's the first thing I thought.
Okay, well that's something.
Okay, so I presume this would be only paying customers can get the wedge, so we have to be a paying customer for insurance. We have the money to buy insurance.
Well, we have to get the insurance in order to have the wedge.
I know,
the wedge is kind of incidental here.
Okay, well, I thought the wedge, and you said that was a puzzle, so I thought, okay, we have to get a wedge.
Well,
we've got a boat, so we can't take a wedge, but we can take a model boat.
Well, it was just a very, very clever little meta humor conversation you just totally ignored.
Someone's being yelled at to come up with fucking things to talk about.
Where Odysseus said, let's just assume I found a clever way to distract you.
Uh-huh.
And he goes, okay then.
Let's presume I found a clever way to pay you.
I'm just exercising my grip strength. Yeah, so, I'm not sure we established this, but the Star of Southampton is where the wine bottle that we're after is, the treasure.
Uh-huh. Aw. What if you tie me to a sail?
Ahaha, if someone cancelled their ticket in some puzzle that has not been made.
Signposting your missions.
How much are the cruise tickets? £1,111 and a penny.
Here's £1,112. Do you have a penny? No. No, I don't. Oh, look at that. If you pull it over your head, you can go invisible.
Wasn't that a Dilbert comic strip?
Um,
Well, one of the characters made a suit out of cubicle fabric material. And
that sounds like it
rendered
probably
himself
is.
perfectly camouflaged in the office environment.
I don't know, I haven't read an awful lot of the actual comics. The series was alright for an animated show.
The weird thing was that the series gave him a mouth.
Hmm.
Oh, hey, it's the same joke as the video store from the last game.
You can sit down and brainstorm some funnies. Okay, so...
Defoe Manor Mystery Tours, guaranteed 70% chance of survival.
Oh, like those odds!
Classical literary reference. Huh, I think that's a Rob Blanc 2 reference. Anyway, let's not look at all this dialogue that no one else has any means to see whatsoever.
Okie dokie. Oh yeah, we can use a phone.
Yes, we got her phone number. No one's actually got working phones.
Wait! Wait!
Oh, it's like Leisure Suit Larry all of a sudden. Oh, it can make an obscene phone call at her.
Presume you've written in some very humorous response dialogue.
Probably. It's my specialty.
Just like Zach McCracken. I haven't played Zach McCracken in fucking forever. I think I mostly backseated that one with my brother.
Oh, that wasn't very funny.
Fucking 4chan green text.
I think we can
I called a non calls a girl.
we can also type random numbers as well.
Yeah. And we get some more little humorous bits.
That's very Monkey Island 2 sort of joke, isn't it? To play with the dialogue lines.
What was it? I think that was a lot of LucasArts did that because there was some similar jokes like that in Day of the Tentacle.
Well, the specific one that comes to my mind is the joke in Monkey Island 2, where you're filling out a library card, and the librarian asks you what your age is, and your choice options are 20, 20, and night 20.
There's a bit in Day of the Tentacle when you're trying to help Ben Franklin fly the kite, and if you fuck up and don't work out how to solve the puzzle, like there's not really a puzzle, but it's like there's a quick timing moment and you have to do something. And if you fuck it up, Ben asks what's wrong with you, and your responses are g, and duh.
Yeah, that sounds LucasArtsy.
Done in the wonderful voice acting that Hoagie had for that game.
Yeah.
Let's crack the bartender with a shovel. We've insured your life for much.
We can talk to our sole employee and friend.
Are we going to tell him that we aren't able to pay him for the past 6 months? I wonder if this is going somewhere.
Keith's thing is he's sarcastic all the time with everything he does.
Oh, dude. I'm actually doing stuff in schools now, and I met this 13-year-old girl who is the most sarcastic creature I have ever met in my entire life. Fucking amazing. It's like the Quitsats Hatterack of sarcasm.
Really?
Yeah, she's just born to it. It's just natural.
What did she say?
Just... bear in mind, these are year 7, so these are like kids. And she was just being like kind of really sarcastic. I was like, do you know what sarcasm means? And she just sort of sighs and goes, my dad asks me that a lot. She just kept pulling little things when I was talking to one of the other students. And I just sort of looked at her and, go, are you being serious this time? And she goes, I don't even know anymore. Just little...
Hey, we found some roofies in the lost property locker.
Yahtzee Croshaw supports rape culture.
Well, the fact that they were taken off a customer implies the opposite.
Well, no, it's in the game, Yahtzee. That's you don't understand how this works.
Hey,
you haven't read enough about Freudian psychoanalytics to really make these connections.
Now I got a credit card that we found in our junk mail.
Those are the exact 2 ways to get sex in a bar.
Just come to think of it, that was how you got the credit card in Legend of Larry 3, wasn't it? You just found it in your junk mail.
I gotta play through those. I might have a LucasArts evening to myself. I think once.
Well, they're remaking Day of the Tentacle, aren't they?
Are they? I haven't heard that.
Well, they're re-releasing it, HD style.
Oh, that's fine. I think re-release would be cool. That game has Maniac Mansion in it.
Yes. Well, I'm not sure if the re-release will.
Damn it.
I'm sure it's enough of a legal headache getting the rights away from Lucasfilm.
Oh, so it's someone... Huh. I just figured it was like Lucas doing it again.
No, well, I presume it's Tim Shaver because he did the same with Grim Fandango. Double Fine had to get the rights back, and then it was released by Double Fine.
Oh, okie dokie.
Okay, now we'll buy an insurance premium with our credit card.
Do we get the wedge now?
Not quite yet.
Damn it! It looks like the corpse is reaching for the wedge.
First, we may go through more silly conversations.
Oh, yay!
Have there been any fire-related incidents?
Rename the place Hell on Toast.
And whatever you click, Odysseus says nope, because he thinks better of it immediately.
Uh-huh.
And now here's the same joke. Same joke with different words. Do you like me yet, world?
Please.
Have I justified my existence yet?
Please validate me. Support my Patreon.
I've seen busier memorial gardens. Well,
some of them can get pretty busy, like...
Of dead people.
not so deluxe.
The scabby cheapskates policy.
Hey, I may be a cheapskate, but all right.
Well, let's draw out this hilarious conversation because there's not much game to go after it.
So, what took you away from this? Because you're always doing something. So I don't believe you just stopped this and started watching Network TV.
I don't know. I guess part of it was that I worked out the whole game beforehand. I scripted all the puzzles and story bits and stuff. And whenever I do that, I always lose interest in the project immediately. What
did you do after this? Like, what was the game you made instead of finishing this?
I can't remember. This was nearly 10 years ago.
I think you can remember the puzzles, but you can't remember.
Over 10 years ago. Well, I remember it now that I'm seeing it. Okay. I barely remember what I was doing yesterday morning. Right, well, we can't afford the first choice.
Oh, bumbles.
Maybe the not so deluxe policy will be within our price range.
Fiddly skibbits. I don't remember what you were doing in the morning. So you're kind of like Drew Barrymore on 50 First Dates. Is that why you're constantly being seduced by Adam Sandler?
No, it's just that I'm constantly thinking of the future.
Oh, so you're like the golden man in the...
I'd like to hear about the scabby cheapskate policy.
I wondered if we were going to get the one that implied that we were a shitty bad person.
Do you know, I had a feeling you would.
Yeah. Economical.
Only covers against fire. Wink, wink.
Oh, you don't have any coverage for when the ghost of Macho Man Randy Savage tears up my bar.
And this pays out £1,111 and a penny.
When you highlight game mechanics, you make them funny.
Easy sum to remember, really. You know, it would occur to me that it would be a funny joke if after you bought a policy from this guy, and then you walked out and walked back in, he was wearing a party hat. Yeah, we're just going to let him keep the credit card. Who cares? Because we've maxed it out.
Yeah, go ahead, take it. It's not mine anyway. Oops.
Okay. And now we can take the wedge. Because we want to.
He doesn't look like he has that money to pay out.
I think that's the joke.
Does he pay it out? Huh.
Oh, there's a blood stain on the wall.
Did you actually not remember that was there?
I remembered. I just wanted to highlight it.
Yeah. Why? Oh. Universities should really issue those.
Yes, let's imagine a world where that happens. Oh, what a funny joke. Right. Well, I think that's it for this game. Are you intrigued and want to learn more?
Yes.
Tough.
Ah. So what happens when you like?
Seriously, are you intrigued and want to learn more?
I think it's already better organized than the first Odysseus, Can't. Like,
well,
I think it's like that's why I'm sort of asking like why.
I mean, given time.
Yeah.
I just I hate to revisit old ideas. I kind of hate doing sequels. That's probably why 7 Days a Skeptic was set in the future.
That's fair. But I mean, would you go? Would you think of doing an adventure game again?
No, well, at least not this one.
Well, no, I'm not saying doing a fucking go finish Odysseus, Can't. Like, no.
Well, I'm kind of against inventory puzzles as a game mechanic now.
Okay.
Right.
Do you think you can maybe make one that has? Do you think there's a possibility for different kinds of puzzles?
Possibly. And on that note, let's move on.
All right. What happens with? Show me what happens when you. Never mind.
I'm not even gonna let you finish that sentence.
I just wanted to see like the game. You go to the kill screen or whatever.
Who cares? Probably just in like the AGS standard quit button.
Ah.
Right. So the next game is called Broken Bowels. I'll just move that over there.
Guessing you were reading Constantine while this was being made.
This was a hybrid horror adventure combat-y also puzzles thing.
Every one of your characters is like Mecha Edgelord.
It's
adorable.
Well, this guy was a very edgelord sort of guy.
All of them are.
And this was one of my
looking
first
great.
games to have a larger fucking resolution than 320 by 200.
Yeah, it looks good. So is this point-and-click inventory, or what are we getting?
Well, if you'll wait, you'll find out. Why you ask me things we're going to find out in 5 seconds?
To get you talking about it.
Well, let's talk about this incredibly pretentious opening screen instead.
Traditional.
Yes. No one knows who wrote that.
So this is about catching babies? It's like Hatfall, but baby catching.
Well, there was a
got
lot of clever metaphor going on this one.
I bet there was.
I think part of this game was me sort of working through some personal feelings. Because this game is sort of partially an expression of my own feelings of my relationship with my own family.
Which is, how would you describe that?
Non-existent?
There we go. How would you describe that when you were actually interacting with them?
Tense?
There we go.
But I don't want to air dirty laundry here. Let's do it through my art
Oh,
instead.
yeah, let's wrap that laundry up into a bundle, cover it in clay, and sculpt it into a giant statue of angst.
There was something of an Elvira Mistress of the Dark inspiration for the layout and interface for this. You'll note we've got a health bar on the top right.
Yep, that was one of the first things that caught my eye. That's when really...
So this is our hero whose name is Tanoin Russell. I just sort of latched onto the word Tanoin as a name for a while. I thought it was fun.
Okie dokie.
And he's going to the expensive retirement community where his mum lives to spend Christmas with her and his older brother. Broken Bows is the name of the retirement community.
What a lovely name for a retirement community.
Because when the bow breaks, you see. The theme of the game is sort of familial separation, if you will.
Uh-huh.
And
How'd you work that into a gameplay
mother's
mechanic?
relationship with her children as they become adults. This is still like a story idea I might use for something at some point. It just didn't really work terribly well as an adventure game here.
I'm off to buy more suit polish. Yeah.
Let's pontificate aloud. Right. Now it's a first-person thing.
I was going to say, this is feeling manhuntery.
Yeah, it's along those lines. Except we see our gormless face and dumb haircut all the time.
Marvellous.
So, we got a bunch of flowers we're going to give to Mum. And here's the photo of our mum last Christmas when we were wearing the exact same clothes as we are now.
The same set, or have you showered since?
I think if we use the phone, yes. A fancy picture of a hand. Drawn from life, I think. Thumb looks a bit off there. So there's no phone
There's
signal.
no articulation to the thumb. I like this look, you know?
Well, I think part of why I stopped this because making every background was too much fucking work.
Yeah. I can imagine, because it looks, it looks pretty cool. Hand coming up, things occurring.
Ooh, ominous walking sound effects.
Oh, this one's got sound.
Well, it's got a little bit of sound.
Ah. Okay.
And then we'll smash the lock off the gate.
Wadoosh.
Because we don't think anything's fucked up quite yet.
Scarecrows in the street are usually a bit of a... that my alarm bells would be tingling.
Well, let's go and look at the scarecrow.
Love the way he walks.
Scarecrow's fucked off. Where did it go?
Why do I keep closing my eyes when I walk between locations?
Yeah, I was wondering that. You'd think you'd be able to spot where things were going. Why does the text keep disappearing after I click the first time? Right, and there's blood all over the door. That's not ominous. We've got no text relating to that.
My God. Excuse me.
Now, there was a pretty heavy Silent Hill influence on this game. Yeah, the executable still has the date on this. This was made in 2007. Or at least it was the last time it was edited. Yep, so our brother's signed in. And so is that guy we saw at the station.
That amazingly dressed gentleman.
What a handsome fellow he was.
Hmm.
And no signal to the phones again. That's the walking on...
Phones.
You might recognise that as the walking on carpet sound effect from 5 Days a Stranger as well.
You're right, I have committed that sound memory, that is.
And here's some wood grain and a curious pattern on the door. This is getting very Silent Hill-y all of a sudden.
Does that mean, like, the person who lives in there is allergic to penicillin? Penicillin? Penicillin. Oh my goodness!
Oh, a body. You know, I think in retrospect, having the narration sort of takes away from the experience a bit.
It's like early Marvel.
Yeah, it's like, I feel this might have worked better if Tanoan were a silent protagonist. And we just walked in there and just went like,
Get rid
gassy
of his face. I think having the face there kind of wrecks. If he's just there and silent, then it's kind of like mime.
Well, you know, it worked for the Doom guy.
What?
What's this?
Oh my god, arcade sections enough.
It's very Elvira Mistress of the Dark all of a sudden. Yeah, better take them away from this place where there's one weird dog thing with a man trap for a face. It was a very symbolic dog.
Looks like it was made of marzipan.
And...
Lemon curry?
lemon curry? Quite, yes.
I can see the influence in the... What's the health thing? Energy drink. Health... What was it called in Silent Hill? Like health drink or something?
Yeah, it was conveniently called health drink. Because it gave you health.
I suppose it makes more sense than green herb.
Let's go into the little gift shop.
I just want gifts.
No, that's not a gift.
Hey.
Oh, well, I'll take it, but this really wasn't what I had in mind.
Diabetes.
Morm.
Fucking weird naming. Are these actual names in the UK? Like, am I just not knowing this?
I think this character was named after M. Somerset Maugham.
Huh. Oh, so it's a last name.
Yeah, it's a reference. It's a clever literary reference.
Okie dokie, pig and a pokey.
There are demons. A darkness has fallen upon broken boughs. I think he seems to have a very clear idea of his schedule, this
I like
fella.
when someone's going to, like, write about your creative output. They won't have to write about themes so much as they'll just have to write about theme.
What's that theme, then?
Like, the single, like, the, Lovecraftian darkness encroaching.
Well, yes, I suppose.
You're just almost
Well, there's that and comedy games about space heroes.
So, H.P. Lovecraft and Red Dwarf.
There you go. My two principal influences. Also, Terry Pratchett and Douglas Adams.
It's my fucking mom, you dickbag. I go fucking goddamn it.
Yeah, this dialogue's kind of dry. There's not a lot of humour in it.
Well, I don't...
Because it's a scary horror game.
I was going to say, I don't think humour would really be appropriate.
Scary, atmospheric, and slightly fucked up family relationships horror game.
Yeah, I already killed one of them.
The Trapjaws are the least of it.
Okay, you don't know that name. You made that name up, Mom.
Yes, if it weren't clear to know in sort of the stand-in for me in this plot, because I went to a range once, and I used to own a trench coat that I wore a lot.
Of course you did.
Though my hair was never that shitty.
No, I think I've seen pictures of young you. You at least shampooed.
I will go for the side parting usually.
Middle parts, not an easy one to pull off. I wouldn't risk
Morm's
it.
a bit curmudgeonly.
I don't know, he gave us a gun. That's pretty nice of him.
There's a key under the restaurant sign.
Representative of the UK's gun culture. Everyone has a gun.
Handguns are supposed to be banned in the UK.
Yeah.
Because here's the funny thing, listeners, we had a shooting massacre, so we banned them. And now we don't get shooting massacres anymore. Hey, let's just equip this this gun for the next combat.
Alright.
Oh, we've got a domino.
Rad.
Which Morm said was a key. What the hell's he talking about?
You couldn't ask him, like, Mom, what the fuck are you going on about? You seem lucid.
There! Bam! This could have done with some sound effects.
Stomp on it. Stomp on it a bunch.
Yeah, that was a battle reprise, I think. Or reprise. depending on where you are. Now we've got a domino. Let's tromp slowly over to this door. You just have to use the hand on an item if you're in an area where it can be used, I think.
Alright, so it just auto-activates.
So we just turn it around to make it a valid domino move, and then the door opens.
This is one of those things that I love also in, like in Resident Evil, it didn't make sense, but it fit the atmosphere. Resident Evil 2, when you're in like public buildings in a city, and it's like, you need the gem to tickle this ivory, and it's insane. I love the idea that somewhere there's a retirement home with like demented domino puzzle keys. That's lovely. I'd build that.
And the computer's all covered in blood.
Gotta stop wanking at 10, man. You gotta stop wanking at 10.
There's a load of useless paperwork.
I actually, like, this is interesting. I mean, I think the combat's probably a little...
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't keep that going. What was that noise? That was a strange noise. It sounded like you were a balloon that someone was holding the neck and letting it out slowly.
That's that noise.
Well, obviously they released their fingers a little bit.
Well, I think like an action-y portion could add to, could kind of mix up the dryness a little, but...
Well, I have an idea for how I'd do this in Game Maker. In fact, I made another prototype at one point, but I don't think we'll be seeing that.
I was going to say, because I remember faintly...
This is AGS prototypes. Yeah, I think I might have shown you at one point.
The hydrophobic thing.
Yeah, that was another thing I introduced. But don't say any more, because I might actually still make that at some point.
Oh.
But yeah, it was the same plot as this, really.
Nope.
I guess we're just pressing the numbers here. So what it is that we've got some numbers here, and the special that was given on the sandwich board below is lemon chicken curry, which is presumably 1095.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going to enter 1095 based on an assumption of what the numbers of these buttons are. 1095. There we go.
Holy bejesus. That needed some button sound. What the?
Yeah. Crazy imagery. It's
okay, so
still
that's
Silent Hilly.
Is that a big hand far away or a regular sized hand in our face?
Oh, well, how do we know?
Well, the north door's blocked. Well, giant hand in the way.
Oh, and another corpse. They're everywhere. Gonna look at it anyway, because I told you to.
Yeah. See, this is cool. Like that strobe effects, it's some atmosphere.
Try not to get epilepsy looking at this.
Yeah, you hear that, epileptics? Just try harder.
Incidentally, this is the first of 2 horror game prototypes we'll be looking at in this session.
Ooh.
There was a time in my life when I was forever trying to recreate Silent Hill 2 in AGS. World building.
Always remember to leave
More world
important
building.
diary entries highlighted.
Yes.
So I know what to read, because you could be there for ages just reading, like, I think the chicken curry is quite poor today.
Okay.
Can we shoot the hand? Can we tickle it?
No.
What if we high-five it?
You have to do something to get rid of it, of course.
Well, yeah, but
Something far away from it, of course.
Yeah.
What about that doesn't make sense?
Well, no, I understand the tropes of games. I'm just curious as to what in the game has clued me into how we get rid of a giant hand, or have we simply not stumbled upon it yet?
I guess we haven't stumbled upon it.
Alrighty.
Trump, 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 trump.
Trump, 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 trump.
Actually, I'm trying to remember what we have to do. Oh, yes, there's a hand there.
Aha!
Yes, that statue's undergone a fair bit of weathering. Looks like a half-sucked jelly baby. Ooh, more world building. Trump, trump. Oh, I never get tired of that.
Oh, we need more of the dominoes.
Yeah, looks like we need more dominoes to solve this puzzle. Presumably the same way we solved the first one, which was really easy.
Yep. But the first puzzle should be really easy.
You
gotta...
I'm trying to remember now. I remember the item we need, I just don't remember where it is.
So we couldn't touch the hand.
No, I need to put something in the hand. That's classic survival horror puzzles, isn't it?
Yeah.
Chomp, 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 chomp. Chomp, 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 chomp.
A gift.
Well, I did murder a couple of other monsters, but I guess you're not interested more.
Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of this fucking giant hand. Have you seen the hand? Look at it. Fucking look at it. What's that about?
Oh, I should have frisked the corpse. I remember now.
You were so busy looking at it.
A curious bird figurine. Now, you might want to keep an eye out for certain themes that are occurring again and again in this game.
Dominoes?
Well, that's one of them. Hey, a call from Edward. Oh, I think this is a fuck-up. I think we're actually supposed to be seeing Edward the person, not our phone.
Okay.
Yeah, he was supposed to be there. He's acting weird.
God damn it, Edward, you fuckhead.
Stupid Edward.
Yeah, it's not the time for that.
More like brain deadwood.
Ugh.
Come on, get a hustle on, Noan. We got shit to do. We got 2 more games to look at.
Scurry, scurry, scurry. Ugh.
Shoot your
Bang,
ass.
bang, bang. Ugh.
Basically, this whole combat system is based on encroachment. So you have to kill them before they get close enough to hurt you. Right.
Would there be such a... Like, what was the...
Now, we put the little bird in the statue's hand, and the statue's hand crushed it. See, the recurring theme in this game is entrapment.
Oh, huh.
Maybe, and it relates to that document we saw earlier about a member of staff complaining that the residents, seem to have been abandoned.
What was your plan for the evolution of the combat? Like, were there going to be bosses?
Yeah, I think there's one other monster we'll see before I gave up on this project. Let me...
Like, maybe special... Like, was it going to be targeting where you had to, like, shoot them in a special location or a special way? Or just shoot them lots?
No, I think it's just, shooting them. Or attacking them as they get close. But, yes, with the other monster we'll see another variation on the theme. Fingers have been broken off. Very Silent Hill-y sort of puzzle, that. Oh, and there's that weird scarecrow shadow again.
Maybe he's not a scarecrow.
Better walk towards it. This time don't go away while our eyes are closed. Oh, it did. What an ass. I used the Photoshop cloud function to make the sky. That's why it looks so much better than everything else. Okay, we got the weird dominoes for the fence.
I got it. It's a Cuban immigrant.
Oh, shit! It's the scarecrow. It's trying to kill us.
That's well animated.
If you say so, like 2 frames.
Oh, yeah. It looks, yeah, it all looks pretty good.
Kill. Shoot the scarecrow. Oh, bugger.
You're out of bullets, dude.
Oh, so I am. Okay, switch my wrench. I hit you, I hit you. I hit you again. Without the bullets, this turns into a bit of a timing fight.
Yep. That's why I was curious about, like, sort of if you're gonna evolve it or something.
Yeah. Show don't tell to Noan. Hello, phone call from Edward. This time we are supposed to be seeing our hand.
Uh-huh. This time you're not phone face.
Reception's still bad. It's almost like the identical set piece at the start of Silent Hill 2, or after you kill the first monster.
Isn't there some little pixely thing that's an awful lot like Silent Hill?
Yes, there's a game called Soundless Mountain, which is essentially a remake of Silent Hill 2 in 2D, and the one you're probably thinking of is Lone Survivor.
Lone Survivor, yeah.
I know my shit.
What was that other one?
Soundless Mountain.
I'm going to look that one up.
Please do.
Is it on Steam? Is it a buyable?
I think it was a downloady thing. I'm not sure if it was ever finished.
Oh. Bumbles.
Doop-de-doop-doo. Yeah, Lone Survivor does sort of evoke the feel of Silent Hill 2 a bit. I always feel that Silent Hill 2 is more of a descent into the centre of hell, whereas Lone Survivor is more a spiralling out from the centre of hell, if you see what I mean.
Yes, it's an escape.
And I think once we put these dominoes in, that'll be it for broken barrels.
Ah.
You have to align them right. Oh, but the other one moves.
My God.
Shit. Oh, we solved it.
Ah.
Right, that's it. That's your lot. Hope you enjoyed Broken Bows.
Bye, Tomlin Morm Bubblebuff.
These are taking longer than I thought. We're on 50 minutes already. Shit. Better move on quickly. To Adventures in the Dimension of Insidious Cruelitude.
Yeah.
Which I think I mentioned at one point.
I don't think those are words.
Just a sec. I'll just move this into place so we can see that.
Ah, I see. This is a clever framing device.
Yes. And now some text that's really hard to read over the static effect.
Could that be a deliberate?
Well, I guess not.
Make you squint a little bit, you know, like, oh. Who's messaging my groin?
Shut up.
Oh, hey there, handsome.
Shut up, Gabriel's groin. Hello, weird-shouldered Daniel Gordon. So this is, yeah, it's GFW, but it's in higher res now.
Hmm.
And yeah, I guess I stopped this one because it was very dependent on the player knowing the plot of the previous game, which was a bit of a tall order, really.
Dude, looks a bit like a young Hank Hill.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, so now it's been a year since GFW. We've been on the crew that long, and we now actually serve a purpose on the bridge.
Ah, all right.
With a science officer. And now we're re-establishing everything.
Well, there you go. You know, they don't a good go over the plot. You know, that could. Oh, look.
And look who it is. It's Eric the pilot. Yes, there's a reason for the camera to be in this position now.
That's like a clever found footage documentary.
Yeah, a bit of a graphical improvement all over, really.
Yeah, look at that. There's graphics.
And Bromede's actually a character now. And Holes changes clothes. Now he wears a nice blue pullover.
Turtlenecky quality to it.
Yes.
Hole.
I actually made quite a bit of this one. I just couldn't be bothered to make, a plot. But a lot of the, in-betweeny stuff is there. You can actually travel around the whole galaxy and get into all the fights and stuff.
Game Spy dude's back. Ship design looks a little familiar.
Huh, so it does. That's just Whistler's ship. Oh, it's doing the old Cowboy Bebop thing. Always short on cash.
Yep. Beef and bell pepper, man. Beef and bell pepper.
Adventuring through the world. Oh, yeah, well, it clearly does you good. What with your picture of good health that you are.
People do get sick from time to time, Kershaw.
Gabriel's feeling a bit sicky today.
Yeah. I think it's because I'm being near children. I think that might be it. They're little disease bags.
Yes. Although earlier today he did buy a 7-Eleven sausage roll, and I said that I might have spotted a contributing factor there.
Right. Except that hasn't been the variable in any of my other illnesses.
Doesn't mean it can't be this time.
Because I was ill before I ate that, wasn't it? It was the last 2 days. It was like mainly Friday and yesterday.
I'm presuming it's identified a pattern, and you have eaten them in the past.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, we're just talking all over this dialogue.
Dialogue? I thought it was just eyebrow jiggles.
I seem to remember this conversation used to go on much longer, but I cut it down to be a bit less annoying right at the start of the game.
Wow, this is the cut down version?
Yeah.
Fucking graphics! 60 frames a second, 1080p!
Yeah. Master Race, bitch.
Ah, fuck that, man. I need to see this on my 4K.
Fuck 1080p. This is a whole 480p.
It's beyond peas.
Daniel seems to have broader shoulders than I remember.
He's been, he's been doing some.
Oh
some
no,
work.
they used an experimental warp drive and it's fucking up.
Oh, science fiction. Playing God. Why would eyebrow aliens know about Jesus? I've got it. It's the one true religion.
It's a universal translator. He presumably said something like, Holy Zarquon.
Philbo McGibbons.
And Dan's translator, filled in something that would make more sense to him. No plot holes, no worries.
Christianity is just the one true religion of the universe.
And that was the convenient reasoning for why we don't have all the upgrades from the previous game. Bam Tish.
So we've had a Metroid situation.
And all the red shirts are dead.
Aww. On the plus side, that's food for the next few months.
That Starfield was made by using the Photoshop random noise filter. You can tell because there's lots of recurring moments where there's one star right next to another one. So there's a new combat system as well.
Ooh.
Are you ready for this?
Mr. Hall. No. But let's do it anyway.
Yes, you mouse over the enemy and you click on them.
Action.
Yes. And if you can mouse over for long enough, you can lock on and launch a missile.
Ah. How did you plan on upping the challenge for this? Just like multiple targets?
Probably just give him more health.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're in another dimension. Spoiler alert.
A dimension of incredulous cruelitude?
Insidulous cruelitude. It's a made-up word.
I didn't know that. I thought it was real.
Right, now, since they're on an adventure, someone else has to be captain.
I like that. That's funny. Every time an adventure starts, somebody else gets the captain job.
Yeah.
Rule 34, bromide.
Bromide's not sexy.
Dude, you obviously don't understand Rule 34.
Rule 34, Eric and Hole. Hole getting a hair job. Do it right now. Right, so now apparently it's our turn again.
Basically, if you just drew Eric looking like he was wearing an invisible corset, that's Eric and Hole, Rule 34.
Okay. Okay.
Alright.
So now we can control and navigate and stuff. And this spaceship has CRT monitors by the looks of it. So here's how we discover places we can go to. We scan all the surrounding sectors, and then we can warp to them.
Wackadoo.
This time you can actually warp in diagonal directions. And only use one fuel.
Uh-oh.
Intrigue is building.
It's just like C-3PO and the Ewoks.
Yeah. This is where it starts being very dependent on knowing the plot of the previous game. You'll notice that the priestly robes somewhat evoke red and white, and a red tie on a white shirt. So, well, actually, I'll explain that once it's better established. Talk. Nicer planet backgrounds, aren't they? This is me after going through the Photoshop tutorials for making planets.
I'm surprised by the existence of that tutorial, but also it makes perfect sense that it exists.
Well, yes. I think it's another game I stopped making because making the backgrounds was an arse.
Rimworld.
That's a Red Dwarf reference, if you weren't sure.
Yeah, a good episode, too. I think Rimworld's
So we're in another dimension and we found another version of ourselves who apparently is the leader of a space religion.
Eat him. Take his power.
Yep, he did the same thing we did. except more so. So he destroyed the extranoids. He didn't make a deal with them.
I became a ghost face and said hello to young me.
Yes, please watch the Ego review of Galaxy of Fantabulous Wonderment to put all this into context.
Should put all these on YouTube Red and make them pay.
Pause this video and watch it all now.
On YouTube Red. Pay. I think we're the last... How many people actually put shit on YouTube for free?
What?
Like, well, I've been watching people on my Twitter going on about that YouTube Red business. And, you know, it doesn't affect me really, but... I'm just curious, like, how many people actually upload shit to YouTube that get, like, the views that this does for free?
Bleh.
I'm willing to bet fuck all.
So every universe where there was no Daniel Gordon was destroyed by the extranoids. So
Uh-huh.
now every universe that still exists must contain a Daniel Gordon. And for some reason, Daniel Gordons keep showing up in this universe.
This is turning into an episode of Rick and Morty.
See, well,
But before
except for some
Rick and
time,
Morty.
quite a considerable time before Rick and Morty.
Yeah, Dan Harmon, you thief. And
Yeah,
Justin
thief.
Roiland, you
Thief of the shit that I never showed to anyone until this very moment.
You didn't talk about this on any of the forums?
No. So, you know, on the surface we ended up in this dimension because Whistler sold us a dodgy warp drive, but actually it was just the machinations of fate bringing Daniel Gordons to this universe for an unclear reason.
I think Marvel did something like this with Reed Richards.
If you say so.
Although I think now it's like, you got Ultimate Reed Richards and he's a villain.
So Super Dan is actually managed to harness the final equation and become super smart.
Didn't fix his vision, though.
I guess that was a sentimental thing.
Like Drew Carey.
So yes, they can offer to send us to our dimension, but only if we do some work for the Empire.
Fine.
So what this game did was it had a sort of faction system. There's 3 factions throughout this strange new galaxy, and you can decide which one to work for, or you can be a strictly neutral mercenary.
Were those factions determined by the colours? Was that maybe the faction space?
Well, yes. I mean, you saw the navigation map,
Yes.
didn't you?
Yeah.
So we've been given a job to head over to the Thol Corporation, which is the second faction, which is reminiscent slightly of the Culthorpe from Galaxy of Fantabulous Wonderment, who were a pirate clan.
100 credits? You're the head of a fucking religion, 100 credits.
Well,
Fuck you.
he's giving us monkey work. We have to courier a message, that's all.
Still.
You know, pay for work. Really.
Come on. I mean, what? There's mates rates, but there's not the same person rates?
Oh, yes, we have to refuel as well.
No, at least the spaceports of the Empire are at our disposal.
Oh, he's giving us some wise words.
I'm you fuck tit. Go to hell.
Yeah, well, I guess Super Dan did not impress Normal Dan. Yeah, this was... Every sort of choice you make at this point sort of slightly affects your faction loyalty. Obviously, it should be obvious how it affects it at this point.
Mm-hmm. Who's the third faction?
You'll find out.
Oh, okay, so we are going to get to that.
Yes, I think all the introductions to the factions are in. It's just, the story from that point on's kind of given up on.
Alright, rad. Well, I really need to go to the bathroom, so space warp us somewhere.
Okay, I'll keep talking while you do that.
Yeah.
So, crucially, the thing that was a shitty problem with Galaxy of Fantabulous Wonderment that I didn't fix in this one is the menu system being based on the dialogue trees. So rather than, as I would today, just have a big menu with all the trading options on it, you still have to click on Hull, open communications with the spaceport, dial, and all the planets that are allied to the Dan Gordon faction use that particular avatar for the spaceport person. But you can buy missiles and fuel at the same time and recharge your shields from the same menu, so there's that. What else can we do? I've forgotten. I think every planet has a red shirt security and a filthy Lucas engineering, which is the equivalent of dirty Laura's engineering. Rather than it only being on one planet in Galaxy of Fantabulous Wonderment, it's all three of the major faction planets that have them now. I'm suddenly reminded why I like to have another person around when I do these dialogues. I need to have someone around going, all the time to encourage me forward. Oh, hey, let's get the characters to run down what it is they do for the benefit of the tape. That will mean I won't have to keep talking. This is another game that has no sound, by the way, in case you were wondering. Yeah, keep talking about mercenary jobs, Hull, because there ain't none in this build. Yes, red shirts are back, and there's one now. As with the red shirt from the end of the last game, they work as newsreaders. So he'll get different dialogue depending on how far forward in the plot you are. So from Eric we can navigate, we can hunt, look at the inventory, and get Eric to describe the job as well. Hurry up, Gabriel. How many hideous diseased burritos need to evacuate from your swollen ring piece? So the new science console where Dan usually sits. This is where we do the scanning. And let's look at the database, which previously I think that was Hull's job in Galaxy of Fantabulous Wonderment. Bromade's being unhelpful. Boy, I'm having a great time trying to fill space here. Sure hope it doesn't go on for much longer. I know you're done. I heard you flush. I think he's coming back now.
I think I could hear you talking loud enough for me to hear, but I couldn't make out what you were saying.
Good. I was describing how wonderful you are.
Oh, god damn. I don't want to sound like a fag or nothing, but that dump had your eyes.
Okay. And on that note...
Ooh.
I don't think we can actually explore yet. We're
so
forced to go to these first 3 spaceports to establish everything.
How much of this is actually left unfinished? Like
most of it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the plot was the big part.
Oh, well, hello, little fella.
Bromide hates it.
She's just cynical. She needs to get laid. That's what she needs.
Yes, this is a corporation with a very McDonald's-y sort of uniform.
Not allowed to have happiness, are we, Bromide?
She hates happiness. She's a misery guts.
What's a cute thing like you doing working here?
Let's be completely out of character for Dan Gordon.
Hello, would you like to do the sex?
Yeah, they're an evil corporation.
There's a flirtation line? Sweet.
Yeah, the little nugget I added into this conversation to spice it up is that Hole has a weird crush on the Dulcorp lady for no real reason.
Maybe he really likes her eyebrows.
Well, I guess he likes the pale ladies.
Who doesn't?
So I guess it's up to the player to decide who's actually the bad guys here. Who came across as the weirdest and evilest so far?
I'm not really a big fan of either that I've seen so
Well,
far.
that's the game, isn't it? That's the dilemma.
So you've done that thing where there's actually not some giant fucking black and white difference between the supposed...
Well, yes, it's just a sort of three-way argument between three equally morally flexible organizations.
Are you allowed to be like the independent mercenary?
Well, yeah, I already said.
Alright, well I'll be that then.
Well, okay. Well, let's put that in mind for our imaginary parallel universe where this game was finished, then.
Okie dokie. A dimension of fantabulous Yahtzee finished games.
Yeah, they're all colonial, and they're all at each other's throats. So, yes, all three corporations have the ability to send you back to your own dimension, but they'll only do it if you work for them. Well, this is just like establishing the setting before we get into the actual plot, which would obviously be some big epic galactic threat. Or
Did
something.
you have a plot sort of...
I think it was going to be something to do with all the Dan Gordons coming into the world and into the galaxy, and then creating some sort of Dan Gordon miasma. I don't know. There's an exercise for the subreddit. They could plot out the rest of this game for me.
Dan Gordon. Dan Gordon? Dan Gordon, Dan Gordon, Dan Gordon.
Yeah.
Gordon Dan,
Yeah.
Dan Gordon.
That's the language. Oh yeah, so if we go the neutral route, we can also go to Thulcorp and pay them 1 million credits to get sent home. And that's the neutral option.
Alright, what do you earn for general missions?
I hadn't worked that out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's annoy them.
Let's ignore everything this guy says. I love you. He's a jerk.
So again, we can alienate them, we can get some points with them, or we can stick to neutral.
Do alienate or points lock you in, or can you kind of modify that as you go?
Yeah, no, it's all modifiable. It's just, it's sort of the GTA 2 thing where if you get one corporation angry, then they'll become hostile to you and they'll attack you as you fly through their space. But, I don't think this makes them angry. It just, doesn't make them like you more.
Right. So there's a scale, basically. It's not just in or out.
Let's just stick neutral now. It's not like it matters. The game's going to be done after the next meeting.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Alright. Bye! Can I add you on Facebook?
Okay. So Dan wants to find out what the third territory is, as you would.
Yeah. When you point it out, it's funny.
Yes.
Jesus Christ, Bromide!
She just wants to bring everyone down to her level.
Spend some fucking time with the vibrator and come back to the fucking deck when you're in a better mood.
So there's a massive energy source over there. Oh, we need
Get some fuel.
yes. And there's some reason...
Mouse is hiding. The mouse is hiding.
Yeah, the mouse pointer's just disappeared on me for some
It
reason.
snuck away.
Okay. Yes, that's...
Uh,
Had to press escape. So, communicate. As I was saying while you were missing...
yeah, you didn't fix the...
The menu systems aren't totally fixed, but they are a little bit fixed. So you can get... Okay, yeah. So you can get fuel, missiles, and shield recharge from the same menu.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just see if we can access the trading menu as well. Yeah, it's all bots. Yeah, you can trade all the resources at once. You don't have to go, I'd like to buy pencils, I'd like to buy yogurt, I'd like to sell pencils, I'd like to sell yogurt. So
That was excruciating.
So these are the 4 resources. There's no illegality to worry about in this game. You're just pencils, yogurt, sausages, and Meccano are the 4
Good old Meccano.
resources. A lot of people will not know what we're talking about when we say Meccano.
Look up that James May series on old toys. Did you watch that?
No.
It's where he'd take old toys and then do weird shit with them. Like he tried to build an actual bridge out of
Find
Meccano.
out who the third faction is.
Oh my god!
Oh, it's them.
Alright, so you didn't get wiped out in this dimension.
Well, no, that's the point. In this universe... No, in all the universes that were destroyed, all life was brought together into the ultimate entity. And the ultimate entity said that, it flat out said in GFW that their next job would be to go to other universes and spread their message. So here he is.
They're like universe cancer.
Yeah, so basically we're talking to, ourselves from the end of GFW.
Uh-huh.
From that ending. Tyranny of the Individual was a line from System Shock 2, I think. But they're not trying to steal people anymore, because Daniel Gordon showed them the way. Now they just you try to persuade people to join them.
They get a lot of converts. That's what always bugged me about the Borg. They have, the artistic and, advertising skills of hundreds of thousands of civilizations. If they made everyone look really pretty and young and cool, people would just sign up in a heartbeat. They wouldn't have to fight crap.
Yeah, they're totally the Borg now. The extranoids. Yep, more establishing stuff you would have known from the previous game.
No, which you should play.
Well, you don't have to, because we did.
Yeah, which you should watch.
Yeah, the only case of Daniel Gordon doing what he did.
I'm special! Magical me!
Incidentally, I'm very fond of the Photoshop glow function as well.
Gives a lovely luminescence and... the game looks good,
Yeah.
I think if you made the combat basically a rip-off of FTL, you'd have a spiffy game going.
Well, why would I want to rip something off? I like to come up with new ideas. So maybe there's a sort of Undertale thing going on here. So everyone's talking about all the previous other Daniel Gordons that came here. Maybe we could play through this game once and then play again, and it would all be in the same canon.
You could get a Eternal Darkness thing going where you have to complete it as working for all of the...
Ha 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 ha. Even the same colour schemes. Yeah.
Mantarok.
Extranoids can also send you home.
By blinking.
And we're staying neutral.
Yeah! Fuck you, bromide. Goddamn vinegar cunt.
So Extranoid's just going to stare at us while we figure out what to do next.
Can we find another way to get there? I don't want to drive past the enormous talking space face. It kind of makes me uncomfortable.
Better buy some fuel, actually. I think there's one more scene we can see, and
So
then
do
that's
they
pretty
use
much
trading
it for
bots?
this game. Yes, they use Borg, basically.
That's neat. Collective assist.
Yeah, they're really making the collective seem attractive there.
Yeah, that's...
Maybe there's some edgy types would be interested.
There's some vast collective like, I'd rather than use a lot of each individual, I'd use a little of more individuals. So, like, just 10%, like a little bit of your brain that you don't even notice, essentially. And then I just exist in that pocket, and then, as a trade-off, you get to be, pretty much entirely independent, and you get all the attractive benefits of collective membership, such as a regenerative body, reloading should the body be destroyed, a reward card.
Okay. So all three of our fellow crew members are going to support a different faction. Hole supports Stolcorp because he fancies Carol.
Great fucking reason, you goddamn tosser.
Eric thinks the smartest one will be go for Dan Gordonites because we understand how their mind works because we are them. And Bromide thinks we should join the Extranoids because that was the only one left.
Eric and Hole! Black out your soul! I love Bromide's rule. Bromide's law. Should be an actual space law.
Yay! A decision that means nothing.
Now, everybody equally doesn't like me. So how is this going to modify, like, sort of the difficulty of space combat and things like that?
I don't think that credits counter could fit 1 million in it.
No. Not with the size of those.
There's a
numerals.
weird font for a lot of this game. And now we're starting the actual plot that never goes anywhere. This is the equivalent of Dirty Laura's. This is Filthy Lucas. All three of the three major spaceports all have a Filthy Lucas, and they all give different upgrades.
When you say a filthy Lucas, it just sounds like a sex act.
Well, you were thinking the same thing about Dirty Laura.
Yeah, because it does.
Maybe he's filthy because of all the oil stains.
What's the oil for? What's the oil for?
Oh, and it's the Whistler from this universe. What an intrigue! Shame this never got finished.
Yeah, I like this.
Blech.
Jesus shit.
I think I actually did work out all the locations and stuff. So you can scan and find like all the different places you can go to. Let's see what's here. Oh, it's a pirate ship. Yeah, the grey sectors on the navigation screen are neutral, and you run into pirates there. See, they've all got names now.
Hey, look at that.
Well, that's about it for Escape from the Dimension of Insidious Cruelitude.
I should really finish it.
Shut up! I don't use AGS anymore. I use Game Maker now.
What's the difference? Like, what's your professional opinion as a person who does these things?
It's way better. It's much more flexible.
Okay.
And you can actually make saleable products with it. Or at least things that are worth spending money on. I don't know, I haven't used AGS in a while. Maybe it's really good now. Anyway, that's enough of that. One last thing to look at. And then maybe we'll play some Dark Souls if you're not feeling too dicky.
Well, I have to go to do some shopping eventually. So
Well,
I mean, we've been here for how long now?
an hour and 23 minutes.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll probably make this the last bit. Leave Dark Souls, maybe do some more on another day or something.
Okay,
Ooh.
well, that's why you're not getting a Dark Souls video this week or a midweek video. It's because of that, Gabriel just said.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Gabriel Dicky Tummy Morton. So this game is called Phone.
Tom Dickory.
It's called Phone, but it occurred to me sometime after I'd given up on working on it that a much better title would have been Cell, as we'll discover.
Are you going to a prison phone?
You're going to a prison and a phone is involved.
Okay.
So, our main character is named Norris Besturder. He's some kind of crime boss, and he's finally been sent down for the murder of his close lieutenants. He's being sent to
Norris?
recently reopened prison that's been disused for a while.
Why was it shut down?
Well, perhaps we'll find out.
because of terrifying experiments.
I do quite like the light effects.
Yeah. Nifty little intro.
And the footsteps of sound, not much else. The infamous underground prison on Tomahawk Island. And would an underground prison be practical, I wonder?
I think if you're already on an island, I mean...
So the implication here is that we're the first inmate of the newly reopened prison.
Oh, cool. I'd write my name on everything.
We're the only one here, in other words. Or at least the only one anyone knows about.
Let's get into some Spandau level of shit.
Yeah, I think the visual theme I was working with this game was spotlighting. There's an awful lot of that. But there's a reason for it that ties into the story that we will not be seeing much of.
What was that reason? Or does it actually come up in the...
Well, maybe I'll tell you after we've seen it, and maybe I won't. Maybe I'll still make this in something else sometime, who knows. Shading looks a bit dodgy there, with that spotlight going behind him now. And now we're in a cell. So part of the thinking of this game was to get away from inventory puzzles. So this was doing something a bit more Loom-y.
Mm-hmm.
So at the moment all you can do is left-click on things. And Norris will give some insight.
I think the graphics and animation for this is quite good.
I think the colouring on the main character is a bit shitty. He looks a bit...
Why is he leaning like that?
Well, that's just what he does.
Oh, okay.
After he finishes walking, he sort of settles his weight.
He might have a gamey knee.
Oh, people keep turning the lights off. What assholes.
Not funny, guys. Stop it.
Yeah, he just shifts his weight onto his other leg.
Yeah. Jaunty.
Because that's how normal people stand, right? Not like standing stock still. Hey!
Oi, oi.
Something was in front of our cell.
Oh,
That
get back here.
scampered away.
Get back here, you tricky bugger.
And now a weird blue light just came on under that blanket. And if there were sound, you'd be hearing a ringtone. Because this is the titular phone, which should have... And the game should have been called Cell.
Yeah.
That would have been a much, infinitely
That's
better
why I
title.
made the joke about you getting locked in a prison phone.
It's the warden.
My name is Amunganort Jesus.
So the warden hates us.
More silent hilliness. Besturder.
Yes, there's actually a reason why he's called Besturder as well.
Oh, what's that?
It's a Dutch word.
Huh. What's it mean?
I'm not telling you.
It made me look it up. Okay.
Okay, so
Oh
since
yeah,
that,
I remember you talking about this now.
since that monster's been, someone's scrawled the numbers 3533 across this poster that has the word escape on it. So we'll just go 3533. And a massive crack is opening in the wall.
Yeah, I remember you actually describing this now.
And we can escape through the crack into the showers. But that has more spotlighting.
Didn't we talk about doing this again, but with apps?
Possibly. It would make sense as a phone game, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Bring up the actual keypad of the actual phone. Yeah, the warden doesn't seem bothered that we escaped from the cell. In fact, if anything, he seems to have wanted it to happen.
Well, he can't just kill you in the cell. There's the fun in that.
Another poster with numbers on it. With the word flow highlighted.
Ah, this allows him to bust some mad raps.
So now we can got the showers running.
What's a different kind of flow? Damn you, words.
So we can call the warden, and the warden actually has quite a few conversations we can have.
Ah. Like Undyne and Papyrus.
Yeah, I think in every room there's something they can say. And
What happens if we walk under the showers? Guess not.
Not a whole lot.
You should have a bit of a shower. That's help you feel good, Bastardo.
Huh, I think he's talking about me. We're famous, Mum.
I told you I'd amount to something.
Let's call the warden again, why not? Ha.
Mm-hmm.
This warden's a strange character.
Was there going to be a twist to this one?
Oh yeah, man. A twist about this whole scenario. Is it that obvious?
Yeah.
So we can't go left past the guard. We can go into this horrible looking toilet.
Okay. So we put the number in that opened the crack backwards to seal the crack.
Yes. So as we established flow... Yes, if there'd been a sound there, it would have been a water cascading into a metal sink. But if we enter flow backwards, which would be 3, 1, 2, 4, then it has the opposite effect. It stems rather than flows.
Uh-huh.
So how did we solve this puzzle? Is we type 4, 2, 1, 3 to start flowing, making the very loud noise. And the guard goes to investigate the loud noise.
We're in a drought, god damn it. That's water irresponsibility. 4-minute showers, I tell you.
And if the lighting was better, perhaps he would have spotted us there. But now he's in there, we can do escape backwards. 3, 3, 5, 3. Escape becomes detain. And we've now detained the guard behind some bars.
You filthy bastarder. Or is a great response to any threat.
Yeah.
It's always my fucking favorite. That was
Well,
one of my favorites on the door.
It's the original laconic reply, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, I wasn't expecting... Neat!
Okay, well, Gabriel would play this.
Yeah, that's... Like, I think this is a nifty idea. Like, this gets away from the... You know, that's some thinking involved in these little puzzles, you know? That gets away from the problems of the click everything in inventory puzzle. I love fucking Loom. That was one of my favorite games growing up. And I think this is a nifty idea.
And now here's a note from somebody called Nate. I did, and I'm happy now. Either that or I forgot what happiness is.
Think you might need a bit of a help then, Nate.
Thanks, Nate.
Yeah, that's...
I'm sure you're not related to the larger twist plot. Maybe we're all just dreams created inside the head of Nate.
Yeah, we're all in an autistic kid's snow globe. That's all it ever is.
Try to imagine the ringtone again. If it were a ringtone, it would have been some very apt choice of music. Like, I don't know.
I want to break free!
Possibly. Or Cold-Hearted Snake by Paula Abdul. So, the broken man, the shattered man, the mother of fire, and the worm. The 4 other prisoners in this prison.
The Cenobites.
Apt question, Norris. Oh, they were sealed within the prison. Oh, that's an interesting turn of phrase.
I know.
I doubt they expected us to survive. The warden has been here all along. Perhaps the warden is the prison.
Dum, dum, dum.
If you run out of dialogue for a single room, you'll go into a sort of general conversation with the warden. Okay, I'm going to learn a bit more about our hit list.
Mm-hmm. It's always good. Were these going to be body horror-y looking things?
Well, we'll be able to see one of them.
Oh, really? Nifty tits.
Yeah, I got some ways into this. In fact, I finished the whole first section of this game.
When was this made?
Yonks ago.
Yeah.
This is probably the last project I worked on in AGS, but stopped because AGS is kind of shitty.
I'm enjoying this one so far. I think.
Well, let's see if that mood changes. Now we're walking on a rusty metal gantry, I guess. All the spotlighting means it's quite hard to detect certain things.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I think there's another game I stopped just because, making the art was a lot of work and I just kind of lost interest. Can I escape from here?
I love how much your passion for anything is neutralized by your desire to do any work.
Well, quite. That's probably why I went to procedural game design.
Okie dokie. What are you about, buddy?
Huh. And now there's some kind of birthday party here. From Nate. To Derek.
Aw.
Let's call the warden again. He seems like a party kind of guy. Oh, guess not. Because we've got nothing to say about the party.
Yeah, it's Warden. Warren the Warden.
Who's got something against us, it seems. Well, at least he's up front. That's all I can say.
Nice to know what you're dealing with.
Yes. Send you here to kill these things. Now, believe it or not, you can actually walk up here. There's stairs you can't see.
Yeah, I can't even... That, I'd say, is probably the biggest issue I'm having with the game so far, beyond his weird jaunty lean, is just... I mean, maybe it's a problem of the engine, but just the lighting tends to be
and here's
more
a
of a hassle.
Here's a death certificate for someone called Derek Beston, who was crushed to death.
Did we only get half of the...
Seems so.
Huh.
Or it's folded, and Beston is such a aloof badass, he doesn't want to unfold it.
Yeah.
So this doesn't look much like a prison anymore. We've went into a party house, and now we're in someone's nice bedroom.
Could be one of those Norwegian prisons. It's really pleasant.
Yeah, that was my first thought. This seems like a really pleasant prison. Okay, there's a wire tied around the knob that we can't turn.
So we'll have to get...
We'll probably need a new spell to cast with our phone. Huh, I think that was a tutorial thing. A miraculous device that can untie any knot. All you have to do is call this number. Huh, if only we could turn that infomercial back on.
Okay, so we need something to make a connection.
Yes.
So we need to get those 2 bits of wire.
But how to do it without being able to pick stuff up? Huh, a soaking wet rat.
Okay, so is it a positioning puzzle or we have to Oh, so you can interact with the world.
Well, yeah, you can't pick stuff up though. We opened a little vent. Now that we've opened that little vent, we're going to cast flow on the bath.
Uh-huh.
Oh no. The rat got scared.
What would happen if we did that and the thing was closed?
I think it would just gone the other way.
Oh. It feels like if the thing was closed, he'd go the other way and maybe touch the wire, Because isn't the point to get him into the other room?
Yes. Let's see what happens if we stand in front of the vent.
Okie dokie.
Stay in there, rat. You naughty rat.
You little bugger. Naughty rat.
Oh, hang on. Let's detain him in there. There's a thought. Huh. Now get out of that,
Now you're trapped.
rat. Oh, there he is. And he ran across the wire connection.
And didn't do anything.
Well, no, because it seems we're not receiving power. Why could that be?
Okay.
Could it be something to do with this generator?
It's jiggling. Oh, it stopped jiggling.
Please don't answer the
I'm not
phone.
answering. I'm just saying.
Good. So there's a car under here.
Yeah.
With a gas tank. Which we can open. I think if we cast flow, we can get gas to come out. Yes. Bloop. And spill on the floor.
So we need something that can maybe hold the flow?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Generator's out of fuel. So that's that. Let's go back to the party. Oh, now it's a party.
Okay, you Nate or Derek? I think it's a Derek. Hello, my name is Mr. Burns.
Yes, it's Derek.
It's like some kind of trap of the mind.
Guess it was a gang of nerds.
Yeah. That's the twist. He was one of those high school shooter nerds. That's what made him really good to be part of the gang.
Maybe he was sort of like the hacker member of the gang.
Yeah, he did our all of our internet banking crime.
Warden, I demand an explanation.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Alright, who's playing funny buggers with me?
Derek Beston is dead. How could he have been there? Oh.
What the?
Shit! Must escape, must escape. Quickly, quickly. Yeah, piss off, you. See, if we hadn't done that in time, we would have died. No cross-finger backsies.
What was that about? What was he made of?
That was the Broken Man.
Oh, okay.
The thing that the warden tasked us to kill.
Hmm.
And now there's a mysterious voice coming from that window.
But I can be a friend to you, Norris. I'm gonna throw you a bucket to put the fuel in.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Or maybe not. Alright. Thanks, champ.
I haven't talked to the warden about this garage we found.
A little, yeah, it's a little unusual. Yeah, I'm gathering that, champ.
Okay, he just kind of danced around the issue there.
Hmm.
He didn't really tell us why there were windows. He just said, all the weird things you've seen, and that's what you're focusing on. Oh, we just heard something break. Something glass break.
Oh, I mean, Stone Cold's here.
Hey,
It is up. He did throw a bucket.
Someone threw us a bucket. Crazy days.
Marvelous.
So we'll just leave that bucket under the gas tank. And open it.
Boop.
And cast a bit of flow. And pick up the bucket. And just put it in the generator. And we'll turn it on then, Norris.
Maybe you could turn it on.
Thank you.
See, I think the giant issue here is, like, I can't even see what you're clicking on to make you move between rooms.
Well, yes, there is
I mean,
that.
that would probably need to be tidied up a little bit. Alright, and now we can do the thing with the rat.
Yes.
Alright, so we gotta undo the latch.
Open the thingy. Stand just there. Flow, the bath.
Bust that flow again. Piss off.
There he goes.
Yep.
Now have a zappy old time.
You gotta play the... play detained, don't you? Otherwise he just runs back through.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, shit.
Uh,
Yeah, we know. Thanks, Norris.
Thanks for highlighting.
Thanks, gameplay tutorial. See, there's a lot of stuff in this room that originally weren't included. Like the water spilling out of the vase to establish you needed to turn the TV on.
Nah.
Huh, lots of strange imagery appearing on the screen there. 8966. Also, I think this should be done in higher res so we can fit more spells onto one screen.
Mm.
So we've got untie, so presumably 66 9, 8
Is
becomes
tie.
not.
Oh.
Right.
This is good. I might this.
Oh, shit, he's here.
Here comes Wobbles. Can we tie him up?
I think, yeah, because he's all twisted up, we can cast Untie on him. And this will Where are you
There
going?
you go.
Yeah, the follow algorithm in AGS wasn't very good.
Is he walking backwards? What?
Yeah, we just untied him.
Uh, uh.
I think now he'll stop bothering us. At least in this area. Oh! Prove me wrong.
Fucking cosmic.
Shit.
He's just going off on his
Okay.
own. He's just heading somewhere.
Okay, that's a bug, probably. Just ignore that.
I think he's looking. Douglas, where did you go? No!
I'm Norris Bastarda.
Yeah, he's talking to the first broken man.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
broken man's broken wife.
Yeah, but now I've untied.
Prison wife.
Oh, look, a poster for Mogworld.
Hmm.
Huh.
That's cool. Because you pee blood. That's why you have to take the bottom bunk, you gross little fuck. Don't want that on me.
Huh. I forgot that this is actually quite cool, this game.
Yeah, this is probably one of the better things you've made and you didn't finish it. Dingbat.
Well, it's because it was an AGS and that just felt inflexible at the time. Oh, another note from Nate. Another Nate from Note. Another Newt from Not.
Newt!
The broken man's got something wrong with his bones, does he? Crush him, twist him, tie him in knots. He'll pop back into shape, like a Stretch Armstrong. How he got like that, I still don't know. Maybe he just stayed in the wrong place for too long. You're a mighty pontificator, Nate.
If you pull that face, it'll stay that way.
Hey, this window opened. Yeah, there's a vent.
Scooch.
Hey, follow spots. Don't you just love them?
Gotta.
Hey, isn't that Derek's shoes?
What if we tied his shoelaces together?
Well, we can't. We're underneath him. We're just hearing his conversation. What an intriguing mystery.
Yeah, you're right, Derek. You should just stay at home and play video games.
Who's he talking to, though?
Table legs McGee.
Yeah, let's just keep going down this vent, then. Oh, this is getting a bit Silent Hilly, isn't it?
Ah, seems fine. Look at it. Perfectly fine. Must be getting near the boiler.
Oh, we're at the end.
Ah.
There's no way to go now. Guess we'll just go back, then.
Beep, beep.
But didn't this turn blue last time we were here?
Yep.
Oh, now this stopped as well. I guess we'll see if the other side's
Shenanigans.
see if the other side's gotten any better. Oh, it's gotten shorter, actually. And so has that one. And now we're trapped in a coffin. Boy, this would have been great with some audio, wouldn't it? Like some hammering industrial soundtrack.
Yeah, sorry about that.
More intrigue.
Maybe it wasn't because he got in your way.
What about Nate?
Yeah. I just killed Nate because of his stupid name.
I found some notes from him. I don't think that counts as knowing the guy.
I noted him. Yep. Given where we are, I think it probably is too late. Yeah, sure, why not?
Norris, you asshole. You killed the poor bastard.
Go stand on the fucking spot. I'm not asking for you to write any...
I could have used a sound effect as well. Oh shit! Derek is the broken man.
Boss fight. Boss fight.
You gonna fight me or
Kind of error. Maybe we have to make him collapse on a spot, and then...
Okay. Now we've blocked off all those drains, so the broken man can't come through them anymore. He has to come through the other one. Oh shit.
Oopsie doodle.
The thingy timed out. Quickly, quickly, and I'm going to untie you again. Okay, we have to stand on these so that we cover up all these drains. I'll just escape this one.
Go away. Derek, you dick. So those don't crush him?
No, he's the broken man. He can take it.
Oh, yeah. Eh.
This is becoming quite maddening. That's
There we
one.
go.
Okay, now he's stuck
Now
in
we
there.
tie.
And now we're not. And
Alright.
he's supposed to have fallen off there.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, look at that. Suck it.
Whoa, Norris is a badass. Okay, that guard is supposed to be full size. For some reason, the perspective fucked up and he's
What
very tiny.
The hell? I didn't even see him at first. Give me down in there. Give me down in there. I'm off to have a tiny tea party with a rat. I hope it's not dead.
So that was the first chapter of a phone.
Alright, that was cool. That was probably the best thing you've done and you didn't finish it.
Shut up.
Yahtzee, fuck the really good ideas, Croshaw.
Right, well, I think that's it then.
Alright, remember, if you want to see any of these games finished, just tweet to Yahtzee.
You won't see them finished, because I don't use AGS anymore.
Well, you don't need to use ATS.
I might make them in the future in something else.
Hashtag finish the cell.
If I can be asked. Cell, not the cell.
Ah, that's right. The cell had Vincent D'Onofrio in it, hanging from hooks and masturbating onto corpses. That was pretty rad.
There is a room here.
Huh.
And yeah, this room isn't fully programmed though. So that's that. So I hope you enjoyed this voyage of discovery into shit I didn't finish and probably never will.
Through Yahtzee's bits and pieces.
I just like to tease you. And Gabriel does too. That's why he's not going to play any Dark Souls this week, and you're going to have to wait a whole week for another video.
Yeah.
What an asshole.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Your lives are hard. You get what you pay for.
If you need entertainment on Wednesday, maybe just imagine Gabriel being sick and holding his poor delicate little tum-tum going, oh no,
Kicking her.
I'm in such unhappy state.
Hello, doctor, help me. I'm having an unhappy.
See Norris's disapproving face. He disapproves of you.
Yeah, I can tell by the way he's leaning.